Standing next to me is Hal Angioli, and he's the owner here of Instant Mexico Auto Insurance. And you've seen their commercials in the past on a TV show. This is a company that I always stop at, get my insurance every year. And we stopped in here, Hal, because we want to give our viewers a tip. We haven't stopped in and talked to you about this, but when you bring a boat into Mexico, I know there's some mandatory things you need to do. And what are those?
A couple items that we need to take care of, Dan, for the customer when they're bringing a boat down is that the customer wants to make sure that they have their current registration for their vehicle, boat, and trailer. And on the boat, they want to make sure that their registration is marked for pleasure use, not a commercial use registration. All these registrations you want to make sure are current, so that way we can issue out the policy, and when you take the boat across in the vehicle across the border, you can demonstrate that to any of the authorities that these are your vehicle, boat, and trailer, and that they should be in your possession.
Right, and there's a good chance you are going to get checked on the other side. I mean, every time I've taken a boat over, it's either at a toll bridge or somewhere in town, somebody will ask to see paperwork. But that's their job, right? They want to make sure that that is your vehicle, that's your boat that you have with you.
That's correct, Dan. They want to make sure that there hasn't been any type of foul play or anything along those lines like that. They want to make sure that these are your items and your possessions. So if you are borrowing somebody's boat and trailer, you want to get a letter of authorization from them, and you want to have that letter of authorization notarized over here in the States, showing that this should be in your possession.
Okay, cool. Now, if people want to get information, some of our viewers want to get more information about your company, about getting that instant auto insurance, the Mexican insurance, they can do it calling your office, they can do it online. How do they do this?
The easiest way, Dan, is to go to our website. That's www.instantmexicoinsurance.com, and you can purchase your policy now right online, and you'll be able to travel from that time. You also have the ability to call us on our 800 line. We're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and we've been providing that type of service for the last 30 years.
Okay, and you guys are open here 24/7?
We're open here 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and we've been doing that now for about 30 years.
30 years.
About
That's
30
cool.
years, that type of service.
The first time I came in here was even before I had the TV show. I would stop in here, go fishing in Ensenada when I was in college, hang out with my friends down there. So I've been using this service for a long time, and I would never think about towing a boat into Mexico without having auto insurance or having the boat insured. And again, for the auto, anytime you go down there, you got to have that insured too.
That's correct, Dan. You want to be able to have at least a liability policy or a full coverage policy. It's always best to check with your U.S. insurance to see if they're providing you any type of protection across the border. If they are, and they're giving you a full coverage type of coverage on your vehicle, then you'd want to purchase at least the basic coverage of liability when you're traveling in Mexico. So that way you're being covered by a Mexican auto insurance company. And that's what we do here, is we represent a Mexican auto insurance company, so you can purchase it before you cross the border.
One other thing we should make really clear is what the insurance that Hal has for you here, it's while you're towing your vehicle, going across the border on the road. You still need to have vessel assist or a tow service, so if your vessel breaks down while you're out at sea, you can get towed in and be covered. So it's, you know, I wouldn't think of being on the water without a service like that. You shouldn't do it either, but before you drive down though, this should be your first stop. And another nice thing about Hal's business here, they have the cleanest bathrooms in Chula Vista. I'll tell you, I've been there many times.
Very good. Thank you very much,
All right,
Dan.
thanks, Hal.
You're welcome.